You're listening to Brunch with me, Noreen Mayer, on this Friday morning. Now let's turn to our next topic and guest of today. In the next 20 minutes or so, we're serving you an insightful conversation with a leading thinker and innovator. Joining us in the studio is Professor Chai Yang, the Chair Professor of Semiconductor Physics and also an Associate Dean of the Faculty of Science Research at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. He's the recent recipient of the Bank of China Hong Kong Science and Technology Innovation Prize 2024 for his groundbreaking work in artificial intelligence and robotics. And I'm really delighted to be chatting with Professor Chai this morning. Thank you for joining us. We are also live this morning on Facebook, so Professor Chai is there. You can see and join us there. Noreen Mayer on RTHK Radio 3. Now, maybe I'll just give our audience, our listeners, a little background of the Bank of China Hong Kong Science and Technology Innovation Prize. It's established by the Hong Kong Alliance of Technology and Innovation, and it's sponsored by the Bank of China Limited, which is a non-governmental merit-based award. Now, the Science and Technology Innovation Prize aims at rewarding outstanding scientists and research teams in Hong Kong or research-related institutions set up by Hong Kong higher education institutions located in the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area for their significant achievements in scientific and technological innovation and transformation. So, Professor Chai, congratulations on receiving the BOCHK Science and Technology Innovation Prize. What does this recognition mean to you both professionally and personally?
Okay, thank you very much, Nora. It's really a great honor, not only for me, but also for my team. Professionally, this award is a great recognition from our team's work for many years. Also, it increases the visibility and the impact of our research. Previously, when people come to discuss AI with me, they always talk about algorithm, large language model. But today, when I get this prize, people come to discuss with me. They will talk about AI hardware, AI accelerator, and AI sensors. Personally, this award actually also motivated me to do much better research. Not only just published paper in high-impact journal, but also to do some knowledge transfer that can really benefit our society.
Yeah, and that's what research is all about. It's about spreading your knowledge and to inspire the next generation to take up research.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Professor Chai, I love that you also mentioned your team because collaboration is so important in research, and a recognition like this can really, like you said, inspire future work. Let's talk a little bit about your work. Sorry, I did do a lot of research about your work, but you might need to enlighten me and the listeners. So your biometric sensory fusion is quite innovative. Tell us what it is exactly. What is exactly your research work for our listeners who may not be so familiar with your work?
Okay, bio-inspired research actually is not very new. People already applied in different areas. For example, bio-inspired mechanics, acoustics, and optics. But my research is about bio-inspired vision sensor. Previously, people also use bio-inspired technology to demonstrate flexible sensor. It can be bendable, it can be curved, so we can increase the field of the view, so very large angle. But my technology is very different. I didn't emulate the structure of the biological retina, but I emulate the functionality of the information processing. So, for example, light, we have a lot of dimension information. It has a light intensity, it has wavelengths, it has a polarization and phase. But how to process this multi-dimensional information, people never study in a bio-inspired way. So in my research, actually, I learn from the biology, and I create some electronic device to emulate their functionality. and process the information with a very high energy efficiency at a very high speed.
Yeah. How did that idea come to you?
Okay, this is a long story. When I come to study AI-related research, the first time should be 2010, when I was still a postdoc at Stanford University. At that time, I already studied some electronic devices that can be used for AI application. But at that time, AI is not as hot as today.
Yeah.
So very few people study. So even for me, we just have a very rough idea. But after 10 years, our team accumulate more and more knowledge. We have a much better understanding, and then we redesign the experiment and demonstrate some new functionality. So actually, you can see my work is not typically AI research. So for typical AI research, they always emulate the function of a human brain.
But yours is not.
Yeah, my work is not about human brain. My work is about human retina. Human brain is very intelligent, but if you compare with a computer, supercomputer, the throughput is still very low. I want to emphasize our human sensory organs are also very intelligent. For example, our human eye. Actually, we receive a lot of information from the environment. The light coming into the eye, it can generate a lot of information. But not all of the information are useful. A lot of information actually useless. They are redundant. They cannot help us to understand this physical world. Our human eye are actually very, very intelligent. For example, it receives 1 million bit information and only select 1 bit information and then pass to human brain. So you can imagine the data is significantly compressed. So how did our human eye select this information? It's very,
How does
very
it do that? Yeah.
very, very intelligent. So my research direction is to emulate sensor, not emulate the brain, because my viewpoint is sensor is more close to the physical world. So when we do some selection and do some compression, it can reduce the computation capacity. You know, today AI computing, it requires a lot of power. The electricity is huge. But if you can compress the data significantly, the computation power could be significantly reduced.
And that's what our human eye does for our
Yes,
brain.
yes, because our power consumption is very, very low, just 20 watt. But the supercomputer is huge. You can see data center.
20 watts for the human
Yeah,
brain. Whoa.
yeah, it's very low.
It's very low.
Yeah.
Yet we are such a high processor to
Yeah,
function.
yeah.
That's incredible.
The energy efficiency is pretty high.
Yeah. We learn something new every day, Professor Chai. When you were studying, you mentioned just now in 2010, it was during your postdoc at Stanford that you focused on AI. Did you expect 20 years, or not even 20 years, 15 years, from then, it would be such a huge hot topic? Did you imagine that?
At that time, I didn't expect. At that time, very few people are studying in this direction. So we just fabricated some device to emulate part of the human brain functionality, such as synapse, neural. We can only get part of the functionality. But today, the technology development is very quick. So people can build the chip with the GPU and the HBM. So the computation power is increased significantly.
Yeah. At the beginning of the interview, you talked also about collaboration. It's very key in scientific research. What role has collaboration played in sort of achieving technology like yours?
Okay, today's research actually is very interdisciplinary. So from one research group, we don't have all of the expertise we require. We have to do the collaboration. If you read my important papers, you can always see three academic units. One is PolyU, and the other two is Seoul National Yonsei University in Korea, and PK University in Beijing. So my collaborator actually is very, very supportive. For example, my collaborator in Korea, they fabricated the material. They can grow wafer scale and send the material to me. And I fabricated device and do the testing. But when I do some machine learning demonstration, I collaborate with the PK University professor. They are very good at the machine learning algorithm. So I combine the element in this research chain. We have a different element we combine together, so we can work together and get good result.
That is a game changer because I think from outside looking at academics, it's so there's such isolation. We feel like you have to do a lot by yourself, but you're saying it's actually the opposite. It's good to reach out to collaborators for the synergy because no one can be an expert in all areas. You need to rely on other people's knowledge and their knowledge and their research too.
Yeah, my collaborator actually are also my long-term friend. We know 10 years ago, and we trust each other. So I have a good idea. I can immediately share with them, and they support me.
Yeah.
So we are not only good collaborators, we are also good friends.
Friends, yes.
Yeah.
As an educator, Professor Chai, how do you encourage the next generation to also have that passion in science and in your field?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, 2 days ago, I gave a talk at the graduate school of PolyU. I teach our students how to do good research. I draw a curve like this. So this is a value chain. Almost in different display, they have a value chain. At the beginning, we design product, and in the end, we sell the product. So, for example, Apple, they design Apple phone, they sell the Apple phone, so they make a lot of money. But in the middle steps, Asia country do the manufacturing,
Yes.
but the profit actually is very low. So I also encourage my student at university, we should do some research topic with a very high value. So how to find a high value research topic? You should go to the starting point from 0 to 1. You should create some new research direction. If you follow existing research direction, you have a go to the middle point. The middle point actually, the value is pretty low.
Yeah.
So you must do some innovative research. You must develop a new research direction. So that's my suggestion to my students.
How can they stay motivated, or how do you stay motivated? Because sometimes in research, it's a series of setback and failure, and sometimes you can feel like you're going in the wrong direction. Perhaps you felt like that before. How do you keep going? How do you motivate yourself, and how do you motivate your students?
It's really a matter with personal attribute. It's really to the personality. Some students actually are very persistent. So even they fail, I can encourage them to try again. But some students, when they fail, they are not happy.
And they stay down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but as a teacher, as an educator, it's my responsibility, as a duty, to share my experience with them. I told to my student, when I was a student and when I was a postdoc, I failed many times. But from the failure, actually, we learn something. For scientific research, not each project you can get the expected result. So, but even you cannot get the expected results, you can get some experience. And this experience are still useful for you to do next research project. So first, I need to teach them don't get upset, and then I need to analyze. So if you fail in last project, so what's the reason? If we know the reason, then we can fix.
That's such a good mindset because I think people see the awards and the accolades and your achievements, but they forget that in between there are setbacks and failures. And it's good that you, as a scientist, you have an analytical mind. So even if you feel down, you can analyze and be logical and learn from the mistakes.
Exactly. We must be very persistent. As I said to you, I started the AI research the 2010, but actually the first important paper come out 2019. It's 9 years.
In the making,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, as let's, oh wow, time really flies. Let's talk about some current projects for you, Professor Chai, and what future research dimensions are you interested in?
I'm still focused on my research on the AI sensor because for a small research team, we cannot do a lot of different research topic. It will be defocused. If we want to get good research result, we must be very focused. So I still continue to do the AI vision sensors.
Yes.
But AI vision sensor, it has a different respect. Previously, I can demonstrate how to do the adaptation. For example, we use camera to take the picture. If the background is too dark or too bright, the image quality is very, very bad because the dynamic range is very small for the camera. But I develop a sensor, and this sensor can adapt to the environment.
So if it's very dim lighting, it can adapt and make the thing bright.
Yes, I can give you an example. So when people go inside the cinema to see the movie, it's very dark. We can at the very beginning we cannot see anything.
Can't adjust in time. Yeah.
Yeah, but after 1 or 2 minutes, we can gradually see the surrounding environment. And after you see in the movie, you come out, the light is very
So
tiny.
bright. Yes.
Yeah, but after a few minutes, you can still adapt. So I develop a vision sensor that can adapt to the light intensity. If it's very bright, I decrease the sensitivity. If it's very dark, I increase the sensitivity. So the dynamic range could be very broad. So I can adapt to different environment.
That's very cool, Professor Chai. Wow.
Adapt not only to the light intensity, but also different wavelengths. Sometimes we can see the visible light. Sometimes we can see the infrared light. So we can also do the adaptation.
Okay. We've only got 2 minutes left. Let's talk about ethical considerations when it comes to AI. What do you think is essential for researchers who specialize in AI and robotics to keep in mind in the current climate?
Yeah, when people discuss this technology with me, so they are very concerned about the privacy and safety. So, for example, our sensor actually is very smart, very intelligent. It can recognize a human face. But today we are using human face to do the payment. So, people are very concerned about the privacy and the safety. So I'm working on a research project that is so-called dynamic vision sensor. So our sensor only captures the motion, didn't capture the image. So only people move, we can detect. If people don't move, we don't detect. In this way, we can protect the privacy.
Yeah, of the people's
yeah.
faces. Okay.
Yeah, we also integrate some cryptography. We can encrypt the image, make it more highly trustworthy.
Yeah, and keep the image safe. Meanwhile, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really enjoyed chatting with you today, Professor Chai. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you much. It's my great pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you.
and
Thank
I
you.
look forward to inviting you back on for more sharing. It's always nice to learn what our researchers are doing. Meanwhile, thank you so much to Professor Yang Chai, who is the Chair Professor of Semiconductor Physics and Associate Dean of Faculty of Science Research at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. He is the recent recipient of the Bank of China Science and Technology Innovation Prize 2024 for his groundbreaking work in artificial intelligence and robotics. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And now a quick look at the weather forecast for today. It'll be mainly cloudy with a few showers, foggy at first, light to moderate southerly winds, and hot in the afternoon. There will be a chance of isolated thunderstorms later, becoming moderate to fresh northeasterlies. The temperatures will fall to a minimum of around 21 degrees at midnight, 26 degrees Celsius at the moment, and the relative humidity is at 88%. It's 11:30. Here's the newsroom with the news headlines.
Hi, I'm Azam Khan. A patients' rights group said